The rain hammered against the window pane of Leo's cramped bedroom, a rhythmic backdrop to the hum of computer fans. At 16, Leo lived entirely in the glow of his monitors, bored by the surface web. He wasn't looking for trouble, just a distraction. His fingers danced idly over his mechanical keyboard, navigating deep into the system settings of a new, experimental predictive text software he had downloaded from a dark forum. Leo navigated to the developer options, tweaking the autocorrect threshold. He pushed the sliders past the recommended limits, trying to force the algorithm to predict words that hadn't even been invented yet. The screen flickered. He typed a nonsense string of characters, a random, chaotic mash of keys, hoping to break the syntax engine. Instead of an error message, the browser window froze, the colors inverting violently. The glitch settled into a single, pulsating command line in the center of a black void. No logos, no ads, no interface. Just a cursor blinking with a rhythmic, hypnotic frequency, waiting for input. Leo hesitated, his heart thumping against his ribs. He typed a simple test query. Where did I lose my keys? It was a joke, a way to ground himself before the unknown. Instantly, the screen dissolved into a live feed. It was a grainy night vision camera angle from under his own bed. There, nestled in a dust bunny, lay his house keys. Leo spun around in his chair. He scrambled to the floor, reaching into the darkness. His fingers brushed cold metal. He pulled the keys out, staring at them as if they were cursed artifacts. This wasn't a search engine. It was an eye. Returning to the desk, his trembling hands hovered over the keys. If it could find keys, what else could it find? He typed, "Current location of the president." No loading bar. The result was instantaneous. A live audio feed filled the room, hushed voices discussing trade tariffs. Leo muted it immediately, looking over his shoulder at his closed bedroom door. He had stumbled upon the skeleton key of the digital age. He realized the autocorrect glitch had bypassed the surface web's filters, tunneling him into the administrative backend of the global network. He wasn't searching the internet. He was querying the data stream of reality itself. Curiosity warred with self-preservation. He began typing faster, testing the limits. Unsolved crimes 1990-2000. Secret corporate accounts. The screen flooded with redacted files, decoding themselves in real time before his eyes. He found the bank accounts of politicians hidden in offshore shells. He found emails admitting to environmental disasters covered up as accidents. The sheer volume of corruption was a physical weight pressing on his chest. Then he typed the ultimate query, the one that had been gnawing at him, the secret weapon. He expected a missile, a virus, or a laser. What appeared was not a schematic for a bomb. The screen displayed a complex algorithm, a social manipulation engine designed to predict and control human behavior on a global scale. The weapon wasn't physical, it was psychological. The internet itself was the weapon. Leo watched simulations of elections being swayed, riots being incited, and markets crashing, all orchestrated by this single hidden search algorithm. He realized he was looking at the source code of modern society. He felt a sudden chill. If he could see them, could they see him? He looked at his webcam. The tiny light was dark, but on the screen a notification blinked. User 001 active. Location triangulating. Panic surged. He grabbed a piece of electrical tape and slapped it over the camera. He ripped the microphone jack out, but the triangulating percentage kept climbing. 40%, 50%. They were tracing the connection. He had minutes, maybe less. He couldn't just turn it off. If he disconnected, the knowledge would disappear, and the machine would keep running. He had to expose it. He had to blow the whistle. Leo opened a new window, navigating to every major news outlet, every independent blog, every public forum he knew. He began compiling a massive data dump, the blueprints, the accounts, the algorithm. The download bar crawled painfully slowly. Preparing packet. The file size was petabytes of compressed truth. He needed a compressor, something to shrink the world's secrets into a downloadable zip file. He used the search engine against itself. Optimal compression algorithm for mass data exfiltration. The engine hesitated, then provided a code. It was helping him destroy it. The irony wasn't lost on him. He injected the code. The progress bar shot forward. 20%, 40%. The computer fans screamed like jet engines, struggling to process the sheer density of the information being packed. Outside, a black van pulled up to the curb. Rain slicked the pavement. Men in suits stepped out, not bothering with umbrellas. They looked up at Leo's window, the only light in the block. Leo heard the car doors slam. He glanced out the window. They're here. His heart hammered a frantic rhythm. He turned back to the screen. 75%. Come on, he whispered, sweat stinging his eyes. He needed a distraction. He typed into the search bar, "Trigger local fire alarms within 1 block radius." It was reckless, but he needed chaos. The engine complied instantly. Sirens began to wail in the distance. The men outside hesitated, looking around as confusion erupted on the street. It bought him seconds. The bar hit 90%. 98%. The door to his room shuddered as a shoulder slammed against it. Leo hovered his finger over the execute key. The upload was ready. The world was about to wake up. The door burst open. "Freeze!" a voice roared. Leo didn't freeze. He slammed the key. Upload complete. The screen flashed white, then went black. Silence filled the room. The men lowered their weapons, looking at the blank screen. Then a phone in one of their pockets buzzed. Then another. Then Leo's phone. Then the neighbor's. Leo raised his hands, a calm smile on his face. "It's too late," he said softly. "It's everywhere." The data wasn't just on the web. He had pushed it to every connected device with a screen. The scene shifts to Times Square. Massive billboards flickered, the ads replaced by the scrolling code of the algorithm and the financial records of the corrupt elite. People stopped in the rain, staring up. In Tokyo, in London, in Moscow, screens everywhere broadcast the truth. The secret weapon of information control had been dismantled by radical transparency. The veil had been torn down. Back in the room, the lead agent looked at his phone, reading a file with his own name on it. He looked at Leo with a mixture of anger and grudging respect. The game was over. Leo was escorted out, not in handcuffs, but in the center of a chaotic storm of media drones and onlookers. The neighborhood knew. The world knew. He wasn't a criminal. He was a catalyst. News anchors across the globe scrambled to explain the data. Governments issued denials, then resignations. The stock prices of the surveillance companies plummeted to zero in seconds. The search engine Leo found was gone. In its act of self-exposure, it had deleted its own core code, leaving only the archives of what it had found. The weapon was disarmed. Days later, Leo sat in a holding cell, watching a small TV. The world was chaotic, messy, and angry. But it was real. The algorithm was no longer steering the ship. A lawyer entered. "They don't know what to do with you," she said. "Half the world wants you in prison. The other half wants to give you a medal. You broke the internet, Leo." Leo shrugged. "I didn't break it," he replied. "I just turned on the lights. People usually don't like what they see when the lights first come on." The lawyer placed a tablet on the table. "Look at this." It was a forum. People were organizing, rebuilding, using the leaked data to prosecute corruption locally. The whistleblower had created an army of auditors. The boy who found the ultimate search engine had realized that the answer wasn't in the machine. It was in the people. The search was over. The work had just begun. The camera pans out from the prison, rising high above the city. The digital overlay of the secret weapon, the red lines of control, fades away. leaving just the organic, chaotic flow of the city. The autocorrect glitch was patched, the back door was closed, but the door to the truth had been kicked off its hinges, and no amount of code could put it back. Leo's legacy wasn't the data he found, but the realization he forced upon the world that in a digital age, the ultimate power is simply knowing where to look. The screen fades to black, leaving only a blinking cursor. It types out one last message, not from the machine, but from Leo. Search for yourself. Credits begin to roll, accompanied by the sound of rain and the clacking of a mechanical keyboard. The sound of the tool that dismantled the silent empire. Post-credit scene. A young girl in a different country is on her computer. Her finger hovers over the settings menu. She adjusts the autocorrect slider. The cycle of curiosity continues. The screen glitches purple this time. She gasps. The story of the seeker is never truly over. The digital frontier remains wild, waiting for the next whistleblower.